What's up, you guys? It's your boy back again. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the video. Welcome to the chaos that is my garage right now. Welcome to the shenanigans that goes on around here. And speaking of shenanigans, this intro that I'm recording right now is actually days after the video you're about to see. As we all know, I've been having microphone issues, and it seems like I'm having some camera issues too, because I've had some corrupted files. I've had it just not record for some reason, even though it says it's recording. And this is an instance where I'm fairly certain I had an intro recorded, and I went to edit, and there was nothing. So, shenanigans all over the place. Anyway, we're here. We're here right now. I'm recording this. You're about to watch this video. I appreciate every single one of you. Like, subscribe, tell your friends, tell an enemy, make them watch it, share the show. Thanks for sticking around through it all. I appreciate you guys. Let's get to it. Holy cow, you guys. I just went to, oh, look, can you see my face? I just went to pull off this half shaft on the steering shaft, and look what I found. Can you guys see that? It seems when I rerouted all them wires and tucked things away, one of the wires, whoa, can you see that? It seems when I rerouted all the wires and I tucked them away, one of them was too close to the steering shaft, and as I was turning, it got wrapped up. So I'm wondering if that's part of the reason why it wouldn't full lock one way or the other in recent times. All the systems, I think, is for this. It's either that or my fuel pump. It might be the fuel pump because that's tucked even more farther. All the systems are working, so I don't think anything got ripped out. But holy cow, close call. I'm glad I'm doing this. If I was just doing that steering box and not that, I would have never noticed. And it eventually would have ripped out. So, good catch, you guys. Appreciate it. Alright, this is what I've discovered. It pulled the relay right out. This is for my fuel pump. Wow, look at that. It's got a hole in it. This is for my fuel pump. The Foss I got back there. They pulled the relay out. Let's see if I can get this lighting more accurate. Right there. There's my relay. Pulled it out and wrapped up all the wiring. So either I did a bad tuck job or I did a bad tuck job. I don't know. I'm going to get that squared away though. Get that fixed before any more damage happens. But that it either just happened when I'm working on these upper and lower control arms and moving these back and forth. It either just happened or I have a healthy VP44, I guess, because if it hadn't just happened, my Foss is not running. If I didn't have a healthy VP44, which is your fuel pump, it wouldn't have ran, but it runs and it starts good. So that tells me that the VP44 is healthy, because if it's able to run and start on its own with itself, I think, is that how that works? It would have to have a lift pump in the back though, unless it's just drawing it in from the non-working Foss back there. But either way, it runs, it starts, it's been doing it. It's either I got a super healthy truck and that's really good news, or it just happened and this is a really lucky catch. Either way, I'm happy. Hey, I got it all untangled and it is way worse than I thought. This it was the fuel pump relay, but it also got tangled up with part of the edge, and I think we have a casualty. I may have to order a new. I'm not sure. I think this is the, I think this is the whole wire loom connection. So that is not good. So good catch. I'm not sure exactly. I'm leaning towards this was just a recent thing when I was working on this truck. It just happened. So good catch, I guess, but not getting out this without a scratch. So yay, more parts to buy. Alrighty, well, it seemed to be the main wire technically, but I think it's just a communication cable, just to link the edge box here with the edge screen in there. I think that's all it is. So shouldn't be hard to find and fix. Got the number on it right there for me to get, so I'll get that ordered. Should come quick. We should be good to go. Okay, crisis averted. I got that plugged back in. I got all them wires tucked that way. It is zip tied to the main loom coming here, so it shouldn't come back over there and touch that. This is the communication cable. That's the casualty that I gotta repair, or I gotta replace. Seems like you can't just get that cable though, so that's super exciting. I wonder if that's damaged. Anyway, there was also a transmission cable that was caught up in the mix, and it didn't pull it out, but it had snagged it pretty bad. It was in a bad location, so I undid that and I brought it up and rerouted it, and now it's zip tied, ran better, reconnected, good to go. All right, back on track. Let's get back to the front end.
Several days later.
All right, so I'm actually in the middle of doing another vid that you'll see in the future, so stick around and watch that. But I wanted to give a little bit of a update on the situation and a little bit of a review-ish kind of thing, experience that I'm having. So as you saw at the beginning of this video, my cables all got wrapped up and there was some carnage, and that would be the edge cable got pretty chewed up. My bad, sorry edge. But I went online to get, I was just gonna buy a new one, and they don't sell these by itself. You have to buy a whole pack, like the whole kit, the whole wiring kit, which is Edge. Come on, Edge. Why would you not sell the components individually? I don't understand. Anyway, so I wasn't gonna do that because it's a couple $100, and I only needed this cable, and I'm not even using this cable. All this cable does is bridges the monitor to the undercab, or the engine bay unit. It's just a bridge. Like I don't need it. And so I was like, oh, this is dumb. So I called them and I explained to them what happened, and I said, I just need that cable. I just need to buy that cable. And they said, well, it's going to be X amount of money. It was like $300 or something. Or no, what they said first was, well, you can send us the harness and we'll repair all the stuff, send it back to you. It's going to be like $300. And I said, no, I'm not going to do that. I don't need it. I don't want that. I don't need this cable. I don't want to get the whole, I don't want a new harness, whatever. And they're like, well, we can sell you a new cable. That's also going to be like $300. And I was like, well, that is kind of stupid. I don't need it. I don't want to spend that kind of money. And they said, well, it's apparently my Edge system, the one I have, is actually old and out of date, and it's not supported anymore, so that's why it's going to be so much. And I was like, no, I'm not going to go down that road. So I told them, I said, can I get just like a wiring diagram? Then I can just cut and splice the cables. I could just delete this cable. I won't need it. I'll just splice it in the way they should have it from factory anyway. And he said, no, because of copyright reasons, all that stuff, proprietary, whatever, we can't do that to you. And I said, fine, whatever. Like, I understand that legal stuff. And I was like, well, send me all the information we talked about in an email, and I will think it over. But I said, what I'm going to do, most likely what I'm going to end up doing is I'm just going to cut the wires anyway. I'll figure out what's wired to what, and I will make it work. And if I can't make it work, I'm probably just going to go with a different tuner with a different company. So didn't matter to me. But apparently once I said that, the guy was like, oh, like, we can't lose a customer or something. So he said, you know what? Let me have your address. I'm just going to send you the new cable, the replacement cable. And when you get it, put your old one in the box, send it back. It's basically like a warranty swap and won't cost you anything. And I was like, deal. So that's what they sent me. Brand spanking new. That is awesome. It came fairly quick. It did take a few days. Like it was pretty quick. I'm not complaining. It did take a few days. If you're like a super modified truck that's really reliant on it, I can see that being a problem. But I'm basically stock, so didn't affect me at all. And they sent me a return sticker. I don't even have to pay for the return, which is awesome. So, dude at Edge, thank you. A little weird that you try to squeeze me for money and then you ended up giving it to me for free anyway. But those of you interested in the Edge products, I can't really complain. They work, and in the end, they were helpful and hooked me up with the cable that I was fully intending to buy. If they just had the individual cable and it wasn't $500, it wasn't that much. It was like $200, but still, for a little stupid cable I don't even need. Come on. But also, Edge, sell the components individually. So, like, if I break one thing, I could just get the one thing. I don't need to get the whole thing. So, I give it a 1 thumbs up, 1 thumbs down if you're interested in Edge.
And now back to your regularly scheduled program.
Alright, as you can see, that is the nut on the steering shaft that we have to loosen. It is aimed downward a little bit. I think that if I clock it to like the 3 o'clock position, I'll be able to run an extension and a socket all the way down there and zip that loose and then be able to take it off with that steering box. What's up, you guys? Voiceover guy here. If you hear some weird noises, it's because I'm outside in the middle of the night at work. Take that, bosses. Anyway, up until this point, it was going mediocre. I was getting a little frustrated. There's some mishaps. And then I found them cables wrapped up in the steering column, and it just really was annoying. So the plan was to clock the steering shaft so I had better access to the bolt and would be able to get a socket onto it. And in my rushed and slightly frustrated state, I had forgotten that I had taken the hoses off. And as you can see, it made quite the mess. It shot power steering fluid all over the place, all over my truck, all over the engine bay, in my driveway, everywhere. And yeah, I don't even know where my head was at the time of doing it, but nuts. So with my incredibly strong forearm, I was able to clock the whole shaft and get it turned, so I was able to come up underneath the fender, and I was able to reach in there with a wobble socket and get the socket on the nut or the bolt, and I was able to get the whole thing off. These 3 holes are where the bolts are that hold the steering box on, and they are incredibly crusty, so I was cleaning them out before reinstall. I didn't want to forget. That's why I was doing it right now. There's the steering box it came off exactly as I was hoping. It came out with that half shaft still attached. The weight of it pulled it off the top shaft that's attached to the steering wheel. And yeah, it just dropped right out with its own weight. It was perfect. Out with the crusty old and in with the shiny painted new. They do look a little bit different though. I'm not sure what the difference is in the models, or why one is one way, one's the other. Maybe one's for a 1500 and mine's a bigger one. I don't know. I don't know what the difference is, but the bolt holes are exactly the same, so it should mount up no problem. When I had installed the aftermarket steering brace, you can see it laying on the ground there. I kind of cross-threaded the nut on, and that's fine. It's whatever. It held it tight, but now getting it off is the hard part. So, got to use some long-handled persuasion to get it off. It came off perfect. Now, I didn't have a pitman arm puller, but I did have regular pulley pullers, so I thought I'd give that a shot. Pitman arms are notorious for being stuck on. I wasn't sure if the pulley pullers would be able to pull it off or not, but I gave it all I had, and unfortunately it didn't work. If regular Ugga Dugga doesn't work, hammer on it like a caveman. Maybe that'll persuade it. Try hitting it with your bigger purse. Well, that's it for me. I'm sorry this video wasn't the greatest video that I've ever made ever, and you gotta sit here and listen to me try to explain stuff on voiceover. I know I'm terrible at it, and I wish I was better, but I'm not. But thank you for sticking around. Thank you guys for being awesome. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to tell somebody. Share the show. Let's get the word out on it. Let's get some more subscribers. Chasing 100, as you know, I mentioned it a lot. To all my subscribers, thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys. And if you're here and you're not a subscriber, go ahead and do it. It's just a button. Just push it. It's not hard. But if you're not a subscriber, thanks for watching anyway. I appreciate you guys too. So that's it for me. Thank you guys. I appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. Peace. Oh no, chemtrails. Now I'm gonna grow another head.